Evening. Welcome to this session of the live virtual classes conducted by the Board of Studies of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Today, we are going to see two of the other laws, the Foreign Exchange Management Act, 1999, and the Limited Liability Partnership. So, begin with the Foreign Exchange Management Act, 1999. So, it was an ordinance in 1999, and then it became an act of parliament and was meant to replace an earlier law, which is now possibly not relevant, but still, it was meant to replace an earlier law known as the Foreign Exchange Regulation Act, FERA. So, basic difference between FEMA and FERA is the only word which is different between the two, you can see, is foreign exchange regulation versus foreign exchange management. So, slowly, India, I will need to tell you this history, not history as in, wars and battles, but history as in economic history of this country. We easily forgotten, but cannot be erased from this, story, is what happened in 1991. We'll talk about that. But then anyway, post-91 reforms, as we call it, the financial and economic reforms of 1991, we had a surplus of foreign exchange. To 1991, because of certain policies, foreign exchange was a scarce commodity. To help you to understand, I should first tell you what is foreign exchange. Therefore, we will jump into the topic. So again, see, we use the word foreign exchange in the preamble also. So earlier, the government view was foreign exchange is a scarce commodity. Therefore, we have to be careful about it. And nobody should have possession. Only the government will control. And we will not, you can't take it as and when you want. It will be given to you on need basis and priority basis. So if you want to subscribe to some channel, some music channel, you see, the government did not consider it priority. Whereas import of grains, import of machinery, the two for manufacturing essential commodities, so on and so forth. So the government was rationing the foreign exchange till 1990. They were rationing the foreign because it was scarce. And for example, import was totally prohibited. You cannot import. See, today, you want to import, you can import. If you pay the duty, you can import it. There is no foreign exchange regulation. In those days, if you want to buy a car or something from abroad, you could not do it. And you had to go and apply. There was a license. You had to go apply. You have to get it. So all that was controlled, regulation. And because of which, obviously, there was a lot of smuggling of foreign exchange also. And so there was a heavy penalty and all that. Therefore, from a regulatory framework, thanks to the 1991 economic reforms and the policy decisions, which were, it's not just one reform, it was a total, shall we say, a bouquet of reforms that came in, which together led India from being a debtor to a comfortable position. Foreign exchange reserves were very high. So the government was now in a different problem. See, foreign exchange is a volatile commodity in the broader global context. So what for dollar, the US dollar, for the United States of America, it is a currency. But for the world, it is something that you buy and sell in their currency, in terms of their currency. Which is why it's called exchange. So I can buy the dollar and sell the dollar. So the dollar itself becomes a commodity in the forex market. Why I will do that? Because I may need it later, or I may have it in excess, whatever. So that controls the price of dollar. So the dollar itself, vis-a-vis the Indian currency, dollar itself becomes a commodity, and the price of the dollar in terms of Indian rupee is called the INR exchange rate of US dollar. I'm sure you have your smartphone or mobile phone with you. If you're using it for viewing this, I'm sorry, you shouldn't do that. Try to get a laptop because sometimes the screen can be very small. You cannot see the PowerPoint presentation. Therefore, kindly don't do that. use a laptop or a smartphone or a tab to view this video, whatever it is. Take your, go to Google and just ask for USD. Just type USD INR. USD INR. You will get immediately, Google is so intelligent, immediately USD to INR. $1 is equal to, as of today, I didn't want to guess it. See, I could have always guessed and said 86, 85. I want to give you the exact number. That's why I'm referring to that. This is a constantly changing number. Okay. The purchase price of, if I wanted to buy $1, I have to give 83 rupees 46 paisa. If you go into the graph, you will see it is it's a moving target. It's keeping on moving, and it's being traded all over the world, 24/7. So the price moves. So the INR equals. You know, if you are a citizen of Brazil, you will want it in Brazilian currency, right? So on and so forth. Point I'm making here, my dear friends, is the government of India was so strict about the foreign exchange. They insisted that, hey, even if you're getting any foreign exchange through export of goods, you have to surrender it to me, right? So we surrendered it. They gave us the INR. We went rejoicing on our way. Because we made my profit in INR cost, and I gave you you gave it to me. Obviously, in terms of, see, the exchange rate of dollar would be important. And the beauty of this game is such that the dollar rate vis-a-vis the INR price of a dollar is always going up. Yeah, as low as 22 rupees, right up to 48, to now 83, double. So it's happening, but it's controlled, not as bad as it was in those days. Now the point here is why it happens. It's too complex a topic. Fact remains that they were left in a sudden lurch in one small pocket of time when the price actually went down. The price of a dollar in INR terms went down. So if you're holding dollar, which you purchased at say 70 or 60, you're making a loss. So the government realized that, hey, this is not a good game to play. And they said, hey, Baba, you keep your own dollars. We don't want it. And that is when they started talking about management rather than regulation. So thereafter, they quietly, said, no. What is the government RBI ka role? It is facilitating external trade and payments. We'll just help you to buy and sell goods from foreign countries, collect the money, give it to you, etc. You want to sell it to us, sell it. Otherwise, you keep it. See, when I get the money into India, I have an option. Either I can keep the dollar or I can sell it to the bank. But I can't do it otherwise than through the bank. We'll see that. That control is still there. Any money, any foreign exchange coming into India, any payments which are expressed in foreign currency coming to India should come only through an authorized dealer or an authorized bank, which is not just any bank. The branch which is dealing with this should have a license to do it. It's called an authorized person. See, all banks have designated branches, only where foreign exchange will be dealt with. So if you go to your local branch and say, I want to buy dollar, he will say, I will do that for you. But he will have to make an application to his nearest ECD, Exchange Control Division. And there from them only he can buy. So there'll be dealers there who will be giving it to him, whatever it is. So this is facilitating external trade and payments for promoting the orderly development and maintenance of foreign exchange market in India. Orderly development and maintenance of foreign exchange market in India. Foreign exchange market is nothing but the market for foreign currency. For convenience, I'm giving US dollar as an example. Right? But in the picture that you see before you, you see not only the US dollar, you see the Japanese yen there. You can see the pound, British pound, Great Britain pound here. Then, of course, the new boy on the street, which is euro. Still a new boy, but very, very powerful. Okay? Euro, and so on and so forth. So, why all this? Let me give you you can ask me, why are you wasting my time with all this? Directly go to section number 1. Baba, that's not the way you learn the subject. Understand the background. The sections are very easy because they're basically following up on this. So, basically, if you understand the history, post-independence, India sort of hedged between communism or socialism and capitalism. Though we never leaned towards capitalism, we were leaning towards socialism, and not exactly communism, but socialism. A kind of a pinky type of a communism, which he said welfare economy, all that. So that cost us a lot of money, like we unsustainable by the tax that we are collecting. Nobody was paying tax, but we were giving freebies. Subsidies were being given to everybody. Whoever was needy, we gave a subsidy. Nobody was compensating it. Everybody was relaxed. So obviously, somewhere that burden has to be met. And every time the deficit in the budget was there, we needed money. So now, here comes the difference. Suppose the United States of America, USA has a deficit in their budget. They won't bother. They'll simply print more notes and send it across. Printing too many notes, economic problem, inflation. So they can do that. Why? Because US currency is a unique currency. You cannot compare it with any other currency for many reasons. In fact, in my regular physical classes, I used to bring a dollar and show them. I'll show you that the $1 bill and the $100 bill are the same size. Check out in your purse, you'll find there's no 1 rupee note. Your 10 rupees note is so small. The 500 rupee note is so big. Whereas in US, the $1 and the $10 and the $100 and the $1,000 are all the same size. No difference in the size of the note. One more thing, 2/3 of the US printed US dollar, 2/3 of the currency are not in US. They are all over the world. People are just hoarding this currency, which means if the US government decides to print it, there's a huge appetite for this. There'll be a lot of people buying it. So of course, you can't play that game and keep on printing notes. But India could not even afford to think of that as a solution. You print more notes, there'll be more notes in circulation with less goods. What will happen? People will be able to pay, but prices will go up. Therefore, inflation will come. So that's not the solution. So you can't, how do you then manage the deficit? No other go. You go to, just like if I were not able to manage my household, what I will do? I will go to the bank and try to get an overdraft, some borrowing, go to the money lender, pledge my jewelry and all. Same thing country also has to do. So they go to the International Monetary Fund, they go to the Asian Development Bank. Well, call it what you will, it's their money lenders. So they lend you money. So you as a country borrowed, whatever rate of interest you negotiated, you did, came back. Then just to you couldn't even service the interest. You had trouble. Therefore, in 1990, the International Monetary Fund sort of blew the whistle and said, that's it. And they have one easy method of solving the problem. They simply say, we'll devalue your currency. The minute they devalue the currency, automatically the rates get adjusted. And there is a way to disaster and doom. Okay, you will not understand it unless you visit countries with hyperinflationary countries. See, in your Ind AS, you will study there is a whole accounting standard on accounting for hyperinflationary countries. I visited a few hyperinflationary countries like Indonesia, Cambodia, Vietnam for that matter. Vietnam, they're not hyperinflationary, but definitely Indonesia or Cambodia, Laos, they're whole belt. Okay, these guys are hyperinflationary guys. Where, for example, Indonesia rupiah, they still stick to it. So when you just have to go to an exchange money changer, and I gave $100 note. The lady is looking at me like as if I'm somebody from Mars. What are you doing? Because if $100, if she gives me, check it out. Now that you know how to check out the IN rate, just like you saw for INR, you see for Indonesian rupiah. How many Indonesian rupiah is equal to $1 multiplied by 100? That is the amount. And it will not be just a small, it will be huge. So I'll have to have a bag to carry that currency. She was saying, no, sir, I can't do this. So luckily, my brother-in-law and I, we had $10 notes. So we gave $10 notes. And we got for $10 at it, and that $20 was more than enough for me to finish my stay in Indonesia and come back. For including a sumptuous dinner in a posh Indian restaurant, which in India would have cost me 2,000 rupees. In Indonesia, the bill came to 4.5 lakhs. Fun. My brother-in-law was saying, see, we are eating a dinner for 4.5 lakhs, not in rupees, rupiah. In rupee, it would have been 1,500 rupees. That's the type of exchange rate difference that you have. Japan, hyperinflationary, but inflationary. Okay, yen wise, India is better. Actually, India is just stronger than the INR is stronger than yen. Okay, of course, you don't have to be pro. Why am I making this all these comments to you? Because FEMA is linked to all this, right, sir? 1991, we owed money to IMF. Interest also we could not service. They said we'll devalue. At that time, one gentleman came. He said he was the finance minister, Mr. Manmohan Singh. He said he went to IMF and he made a promise. He said, sir, give me 3 years time. Then they said, hey, simply you can't take time and go, Baba, what are you going to do? He said, I will bring about economic reform. Like what? Like we'll liberalize the economy. Existing laws are stupid, we will change them. And we will make them more business friendly, etc. We will permit more foreign investment into India, foreign direct investment into extension. So the basic situation, why all this happened? Because India was heavily importing from USA. Export, of course, was happening, but that was not as much as the import, right? From defense to essential commodities to medicines. So many things were being imported from the USA. Of course, your computers, your mobile phones, whatever, from USA. Now, at that time, okay, cars, whatever. Obviously, our export was there, but not enough. So there was a deficit in the current account. Now, suppose India and USA were simply two traders and doing trading business. Somewhere at the end of the year, they will strike a balance, right? So India will find out how much USA has to give or receive. USA, mirror image, na? Mirror image. Ulta, na? So USA will have to either give up. Now to guess whether India has to pay or USA has to pay. Obviously, India has to pay. Now, which means what? More imports than exports. Where is the money? IMF won't give. What to do? That is why the foreign currency or foreign exchange became a scarce commodity. And it was regulated, right? Then Manmohan Ji comes and he says, I will take care of it. So what was it he did? He said liberalization. And he also said, of course, the other two agendas was privatization. Many of the government companies need not really be there. They're loss makers. Let's disinvest them. That was one stream. The other stream of thought was globalization. Globalization is how overseas foreign direct investment into India was welcomed. We said, please, let's permit foreign companies incorporated outside India. Now you are able to link with companies incorporated outside India can come in and they can invest into India. Like set up a place of business in India. Obviously, especially we had special economic zones. We created opportunities for them to come to India, and they also came. And certain cities like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, to some extent, became IT cities. Gurugram, as I should say, they became IT cities, and they developed. And so urban employment, blah 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 blah. So that was India Shining. That was called India Shining. The subsequent BJP government under Dwani ji and Vajpayee ji, they also continued the same thing. That was one beauty of Manmohan's plan, that no government could ignore it. Any government which ignored it got burnt, again went back to the Manmohan's formula, and they did not change. No amount of enlightened wisdom of anybody, you cannot change Manmohan's plan. If you do it, again back to square one. So the point here is, 10 years down the line, 1990, 1999, 2000, we were flush with funds. So now the Indian government said, hey, we've got a lot of money, go take it. Go and invest in foreign countries. So they actually said, ODI, go on, set up thing, which was fantastically used by companies like Tata. Ratan Tata acquired JLR, Jaguar and Land Rover, and Airtel acquired Kuwait, Zain, and so on and so forth. I'm talking about the big acquisitions. So many Indian companies set up foreign subsidiaries, US subsidiaries. Infosys is another classic example. Infosys actually is a child of that era. Infosys, if you look at it, .com era, born in .com era, grew up in the Reformation era and became big. So 2000 was a year of watershed year, and they said, take it. Liberalization, no more regulation, go, enjoy. Right? Now, foreign currency is any currency expressed in other than an Indian currency. Okay? Indian currency is currency expressed in Indian rupees. You have it with you. Except the 1 rupee note, which is printed by the mint in Nashik. Everything else is printed or issued by the Reserve Bank of India. Basically a Bramser note, backed by gold, hopefully, backed by gold. If you check out your next time you take out your currency note that you have 20 rupee note or whatever and look at it, it is not a currency note. It is a Bramser note. The governor of the Reserve Bank of India is promising to pay you that amount. Don't worry, it is valid. It's equal to 20 rupees only, backed by the government. Okay, sovereign guarantee is there. Don't worry about that. Okay, but then can you say that about certain other countries? We do not know. How good is the currency? Okay. They promise, yeah. Okay, ruled by a dictator, ruled by a person who is on his whims and fancies, he will do whatever he wants. In such a country, you think the currency will have any value? Okay. No. So the point here is, I don't want to take you into international monetary economics, which is definitely not my authority. Of course, I'm aware of it, but I'm not an authority on it. The point I'm trying to make here, friends, is foreign exchange became more of a management issue than a regulation issue. So FEMA is a liberalized enactment as against FERA, which was a regulatory enactment. Control was not there. Here, just monitoring is there. RBI ka direct control kadam ho gaya. Instead, what happened? The banks were given full power. You do whatever you want. As a future chartered accountant, any foreign exchange management issue, the minute you have an issue, please don't even think of RBI. Go to your banker. If your branch is incapable of handling it, tell the manager, hey, which is your controlling exchange control branch? Please give me an intro to that guy there. I'll go and talk to him. Sometimes the local branch managers do not have the knowledge. Sorry to say this. They are just ordinary bankers. They are getting deposit, loan, etc. So they may not know the intricacies of FEMA. So therefore, what happens is one more postman is not needed in the middle. Sometimes that's what I do. When a client has an FEMA issue, I call him and say, look here, your branch manager cannot handle this. Let's go to him. Quietly take the contact of the headquarters. If it is metro city, it will be in the same city. If it is a second tier city or a tier 2 city, it will be in the nearest headquarters or maybe in the capital of the state. You may have to go there and talk to the guy in the exchange control department. And he will know what is what. And you will know. See, you are the professional. You are now learning FEMA. So you will know what is the procedure. He will know what is the procedure. And he will be able to talk to you directly. Then you can see, suppose you have a specific need, they can structure it for you. And they will go to the Reserve Bank of India and get the approval for you. It can be done. For one of our clients, the export was happening from Nepal. Payment was coming to India and we were giving payment to Nepal. Because we were manufacturing in Nepal and sending it out, shipping it to US. So the payment was coming from US directly to India. And so we said, this is what you're going to do. Specifically, we got it. Then it became normal. It's nothing. Shipment. And of course, the shipment will go from Nepal. But the billing will happen from India. And the customer is in US. Payment will come to India. All sorts of confusion. Banker was able to understand. We went to RBI, get specific permission. We are doing it. Thereafter, it became a circular, general circular. After we did it, it became a general circular. Anybody could do it after that. Because the export garment industry was moving to Nepal or Sri Lanka. Or then, of course, today, completely zeroed in on a single country, nice country called Bangladesh, where everything happens. Now, so what is foreign exchange then? Any deposit, credit or balance payable in any foreign currency is a foreign exchange. So if you have a check, okay, drafts, traveler's checks, returns of credit, bills of exchange, expressed or drawn in Indian currency, but payable in foreign currency. Similarly, anything which is payable outside India in Indian currency is also foreign exchange. Basically, deposits, credits and balances payable in any foreign currency, straight away foreign exchange. So if one of your friends is sending you a check from abroad in foreign exchange, straight away it is foreign exchange, not foreign currency, foreign exchange. One more thing, foreign exchange includes the foreign currency also. So if you got a US dollar, you got a US dollar currency note, it's a foreign exchange. if you got a check payable to you in a foreign currency, it is a foreign exchange. If you have a bill of exchange expressed in foreign currency, it is a foreign exchange. Got it? Similarly, if you have a traveler's check, etc., which is drawn in Indian currency, but it has to be presented in Switzerland, and you will get Swiss franc, it's a foreign exchange. Are you able to understand? So anywhere where there is a foreign forex link, foreign currency link is a foreign exchange. See, the minute you have to deal in foreign exchange, my dear friends, be careful. Because as a future CFO of a large company, you will have to do this. Because today, India is no longer an island. No man is an island. No country is an island. We are part of the continent. And therefore, with Manmohan Singh's great reformation and the great things that he did, like you'll notice one thing, I keep on repeating one man. No, there are two people in that. So we should, if you mention Manmohan, you have to automatically mention another great man, Narasimha Rao, who is the prime minister who said, hey, what do you want? Let's do it. So that one man ensured that Manmohan could do it free without any problem. And that government, the XYZ government, doesn't matter. They saved India from becoming another pathetic Southeast Asian or Far Eastern, East Asian country to almost now, under the enlightened leadership, we are now able to get into becoming a superpower. So journey began in 1990 with the reformation of Manmohan Singh and of course Narasimha Rao. So now the point here is, so I'm just going through as usual the definition. So we know what is a foreign exchange now. Exciting topic. And so if you are able to get some good knowledge in this topic, when you go to final, you'll have more depth on this. When you do your self-paced law study on your own in final, you will have more in-depth knowledge on foreign exchange law, which will make you almost equal to a banker in terms of business transactions. See, the banker would also be handling other transactions, treasury and all that. Whereas you would be an authority on the procedure to be followed for borrowing in foreign exchange, lending in foreign exchange, paying for imports, collecting money on exports. All that you'll be thorough. Overseas direct investment, foreign direct investment, all this will be thorough. And you should be, because if you have that knowledge, you are that much ahead of the game. People would look up to you as an expert. And as a CFO, you can command a premium rate and command, because your MD will know, hey, this guy, once I get this guy, I don't have to hire a Forex consultant. This guy knows. Otherwise, what you have to do? You have to tell your MD, sir, that is a foreign exchange, sir. I know, sir, but better to get call Mr. Srikanth, sir, who will advise us? Then you have to pay me a fee for nothing. You can learn it. Okay. So, person resident in, this is another definition. Okay. Now, the most wrongly used term in this particular field of knowledge is NRI, non-resident Indian. NRI. Now, see, I'm not saying NRI is not a valid word. It is a valid word, but not in this law. Whenever you deal with FEMA, do not use the word NRI because lay people will not know, but you and I should know better. So whenever a client comes to me and says, sir, NRI wants to invest in my company, immediately say, Baba, please don't say NRI. The two reasons. One, if he is going to invest in your company, subject is FEMA, then let us check up if he is a person resident in India. Right? Citizenship does not matter. But if you want to call him a non-resident Indian, please note this. I know it may sound a little thing to you, but think about it and then you will understand the logic of what I'm telling. Non-resident India. Yeah, Sumit, I'm so happy to know that. See, I was talking about the time of 1990, 89 when we had this stuff. Did you notice me saying from those times of becoming an indebted country today, we are a superpower, which is good. Exactly. India is, I hope you heard me say that. Oh? So India has reported a trade surplus with USA. Exactly. What a great thing it is. But it all started with Manmohan and 1990. Never forget that. See, it's easy to forget history. History is the most ignored subject. Therefore, we are doomed to repeat it. That's what, I say. Those who do not study history are doomed to repeat it. Therefore, you should know how it all started. Okay. Good. I'm so happy to know this. But the point coming back. So if somebody has to be a non-resident Indian, Now, he has to be non-resident and an Indian. Many times I find our compatriots, they go abroad and they live there and they become citizens of that country. They become citizens of that country. And then when they come back, they not say they won't say, they'll say, I'm an NRA, NRA, NRA. Like, my dear friend, I ask, the minute he says I'm from US, of Australia, Canada, I'll ask him, my dear Mr. X, are you a citizen of India or citizen of US? No, 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 I'm an Indian. He will give you that first. Okay, then they keep on bullshitting. I tell them, boss, no, just give me one favor. Show me your passport. That's all. Show me your passport. Immediately he'll take out his US passport. Then you got a US passport. Sir, you are a US citizen. Sir, you are not an Indian. They feel hurt. Whose problem is that? Is it my problem that you went out of this country and that you became a citizen of some other country? But you still want to call yourself an Indian? Can I call myself an American? No. Just because I go and stay in America for 6 months, can I become an American? Yes. I may become a resident of that country, but I cannot become a citizen. It's to call myself an American, right? In the same way, when you have gone out and become a citizen of some other country, it doesn't matter. See, that NRA has some special benefits in those days. Today, NRA is no great benefit, even in income tax. In FEMA, please use the word abbreviation PRII, person resident in India. This is very important from the exam point of view. We are going to see the definition of PRII. There are 4 parts. First part deals with individuals. Second part deals with corporates. Straight away, any person or body corporate registered or incorporated in India is a person resident in India. Any person or body corporate registered or incorporated in India, PRII. Sir, all the directors are in Boston. No problem. Sir, everybody is sitting in America. Sir, no problem. Company incorporated in India? Yes, sir. Then PRII, sir. Get out. End of story. Don't waste my time. Okay. Now, an office, branch, or agency in India. For example, there is let's go to 2 again. We have incorporated a company in India, right? Which has now become the wholly owned subsidiary of a Canadian company. Wholly owned subsidiary of a Canadian company. Is this a PRA or PRY? Sir, company incorporated in India, don't even have a second doubt. Company income, even if all the 100% of the shares are held by a Canadian company, it does not matter. It is a PRA for FEMA. For FEMA. What are the Companies Act? It's a different rule. Do you remember that? There, here it's different. So don't combine and confuse. Income tax, alag, Companies Act, alag, FEMA, alag. So check up under all the 3. Becoming in one may not automatically become in another. That is the learning you have to get. So don't argue non-professionals, Sometimes the non-professional people will come. They'll say, sir, I'm NRA, sir, I'm NRA. Sir. Boss, wait, please come and sit down. Show me your passport. When did you come to India? When did you go out? Give me 5 minutes. I will check up and tell you whether for what you are proposing to do, you are a PRII or PRY. Don't make broad generalized statements. Dangerous. Okay. Now the third is different. An office, branch, or agency in India. Office, branch. So the company incorporated outside India is setting up a branch in India, or an office, or an agency, not a subsidiary. There is no company incorporated in India. Simply setting up a place of business in India, an office, or a branch, or a licensed agent in India, which is owned or controlled by a person resident outside India. So a Saudi Arabian company is setting up a branch in India. No problem. Abu Dhabi company, UAE, the United Arab Emirates, UAE company is setting up a branch in India. Welcome, sir. There's a separate procedure for that. Similarly, an office, branch, or agency outside India, owned or controlled by a person resident in India. So you are an exporter. You want to have a small agency there to procure orders. No problem. ODI, Hana. You go. You set up in Los Angeles. A nice place. A godown. A small office. And you go there 3 months once and check out and come. We are more happy for you because that could promote your export rather than sell to local traders and lose on the margin. You can go directly to the retailers and promote your product and then hold your stock in the local godown and then keep supplying across Pan America. Sir, welcome, sir. That is how you have to do business. I'm not joking. See, India is famous for that, especially in South India. There were communities like the Natakote and Agaratar Chettiars who went all over the world and traded. And they took ships and they took goods. They sold it, purchased goods from abroad, brought it back to India. So I'm talking about more than 600, 700 years ago, more than 1,000 years ago. South Indians were trading all over the country, the world, not just here. They were right up to Rome. They were going and trading, and Romans were coming to South Indian ports like Korkai and all, and they were trading with us. So international trade is not something discovered post-Britishers. Even before the Britishers, we were into extraordinarily powerful international trade, for which, you may want to set up a branch or agency outside India. Nothing wrong. It's in our blood. International trade is in our blood, and we are capable of doing it, right? So office or branch in India, owned or controlled by PROI, is a PRIA, because connection in India is there now, right? Office or agency outside India, but then the connection is, it is being owned or controlled by a PRIA. Are able to see the cross-border nature. The minute you see cross-border, the minute you see two countries involved, then automatically FEMA issue. Straight away, sir, FEMA issues are like that. Okay? Straight away you get into FEMA. Don't even think. The minute there's a cross-border issue there, one country, activity in one country, person in the another country, or rather, activity in a foreign country, person in India, or person outside India, activity in India. Whatever happens, friends, FEMA is there, FEMA implication is there. You have to be careful about it. You go, but then see, Mr. John Smith, citizen of the United States of America, born and brought up there, does something in Nevada. It's not my problem. It is Nevada's problem, because he's in Nevada, Nevada citizen, Nevada. Because if that John Smith wants to buy in Bihar, then I will have a problem, because PROI, India, right? Mr. Sharma here does purchases in Bihar, I have no problem. But Sharma wants to buy in New York, then straight away foreign exchange. Okay, that's all. Cross-border, FEMA. Right. Now, you might have noticed that I did 2, 3, 4 and then coming to 1, because 1 is the most complicated and 1 is the frequently tested in exam. Therefore, concentrate on what I'm going to say. And if you have a doubt, you can raise it also on the query pad. I'll be more than happy to answer your queries. And Sumitji, I love your comments, but keep it restrained. Of course, I am making some broad comments. That is only to make the topic is boring now. Any subject is boring. So as a teacher, what I have to do, I have to occasionally give you some things. So therefore, I'm making these comments. So, boss, I'm giving you banana, boss. Banana is outer covering. There is the stories and background and all I'm giving. That is meant to make it good. But the fruit is more important. That is the knowledge of these sections. So if you have a doubt on the section, you please put it. That part, don't worry. Maybe later on you can get my contact number from the Board of Studies and you send me a message. I will be more than happy to converse with you on the greatness of India. Okay. Right now, concentrate on the subject, which is being just giving this background to make it relevant to you. How it all came about. That's all. Right. So, person resident in India. For an individual, what does it mean? It means a person residing in India for more than 182 days. Irrespective of citizenship, John Smith may come to India and reside for more than 182 days. Citizen of Canada, no problem. PRIA. So that is the basic rule. By now, as prudent and intelligent students of law, you would have understood that the first sentence is only the open. Thereafter, they will start giving exception. Correct? So first what they say, if a person is residing in India for more than 182 days, he is a PRIA. Agreed. Okay. Now, it does not include And again, notice it during the preceding financial year. Financial year, no doubt about it. It is the year beginning on the 1st of April and ending on the 31st of March. We are now in the financial year 24-25, 1st April 24 to 31-3-25. What is the preceding financial year? 23-24. That's all. No need to get confused. Okay, so during the preceding financial year, what did he do? That's a question. But of course, in our style, they have confused it, but not a problem. Understand preceding financial year behavior has to be taken for deciding whether he'll be today or not. Today, but does not include. See, this is where the problem starts. A person who has gone out of India, who stays outside India in either case, for or on taking up employment outside India. See, this guy has stayed for more than 182 days, right? And then goes out of India at some point in time, or stays outside India for some point in time, for or on taking up employment outside India. So, I will give you examples, but right now we will teach the subject, and then with a flowchart, I'll give you examples. For or on taking up employment outside India. So he left India for taking up employment. For carrying on outside India a business or vocation outside India. To carry on a business or vocation outside India. He's a startup entrepreneur. I'm so frightened of him. The new unicorn. He's going to, what is that? What is that place? Silicon Valley. To, become a millionaire. And then do what? Not anyway, for any other purpose, in such circumstances, as would indicate his intention to stay outside India for an uncertain period. Plus, I have traveled all over the world, almost 15 countries, about 3 continents. Now, Africa and America yet to go. Other than that, I have traveled across all the other continents. Now, the point here is, when I go abroad, I go for say 15 days, 20 days, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days, 30-day visa is there, whatever. I have a visa. The visa gives me a clear period, after which they will kick me out and send me back to my country, India. Right? But sometimes, a foreigner, it's a US guy, no need to have that. You can come, you can then take up visa now. US citizens have that power, which is why US citizenship is such a valuable, document, passport. That passport is so valuable for you when you go there and wow, the whole world will fall at your feet. Such is the nature of that passport. Anyway, I don't know about that. Anyway, so when he comes and it's for an uncertain period, don't know how long he'll be there, then PRIA. But in all cases, the person should have stayed for more than 182 days. So less than 182 days, straight away they go out. More than 182 days. But if these conditions are there, then one more exception is there. There is a person who has come to or stays in India. Again, for or on taking up employment in India, or for carrying on in India a business or vocation in India, or for any other purpose in such circumstances, this should indicate his intention to stay in India for an uncertain period. Okay. So even though he has stayed in India for more than 182 days, you have to ask, did you come for employment? No. Did you come for vocation? No. For any other purpose, where your intention is for an uncertain period? No. Then even though he has stayed for more than 182 days. Less than 182 days, straight away he is not so I call this as 3 purposes. For taking up employment, for carrying on any business or vocation, or for any other purpose where the period of stay would be uncertain. Okay. Now, see, one exception is a person who comes to India as a tourist for other reasons where his stay is for a period which is certain, will not be considered as a resident, even if his stay in India is more than 182 days. Got it? When he goes out of India for the 3 purposes, even if his stay is more than 182 days, he will be a PRY. Suppose a person comes to India for the 3 purposes and his stay exceeds 182 days or not, he will become that is where the problem starts. He has stayed for less than 182 days, but he comes for these three purposes. Then he would become a PRIA. He comes to India for the three purposes. Even if his stay in India is more than 182 days, is less than 182 days, it will be a PRIA. So I'm trying to simplify it through a full flow chart. But if it is confusing you, please ignore it and don't waste your time. You understand it in your own. Basic question I have to ask: are you resident in India more than 182 days? No. No, bro. No, I can't just let him go. Baba, did you come to India? No. So he was not in India for more than 182 days. He did not come to India. Mr. Barack Obama, for example, he was not resident in India for more than 182 days. He never came to India. PRY. Am I correct? No, say, yeah, I came to India. Then, was it for the three purposes? What three purposes? For employment? No. For business? No. Did you come for any purpose where your stay in India will be for an uncertain period of time? No. I came with a delegation. I was here for some time. I did some research and all, and there's a clear purpose. I will go back. Then, sir, you continue to be a PRY, right? Though your thing is more than 182 days. But if you come for the three purposes, then PRY, right? Now the same thing. See, here there is no change. See, what we would have done is, if the space had been there from the first diamond, I would have had two plots. One was, did he come to India? The other is, did he leave India? So resident in India is greater than 180 days. Did he leave India? Yes. Did he leave India? No. For example, my father, more than 180 days, he is resident. He's an elderly person, 87 years old. He can't travel anywhere. Did he leave India? No. He didn't even leave the house where he's staying, except to go to Pondicherry income. That's all. So did he leave India? No. Then he's a PRIA. Straight away. Take me, for example. I was more than 182 days. Did I leave India? Yes. 3 times I went out. Every year I go. But not for employment, not for business. Every time I go, I come with the clear-cut date of return. I come back. So I continue to be a PRIA now. So in South India, especially Chennai and other places, you find every house there will be one person who will go abroad. You randomly you go and hit one stone on random house. Somebody will come and say, "Is anybody there in US?" Yes. My so-and-so is in Los Angeles. He's in San Francisco, San Jose, Atlanta, whatever. Somebody will be there. Or Canada, Toronto, Ontario, Montreal. Somebody will be there. So the point here is, he stayed in India for more than 182 days. And then on, say, February, he left for taking up employment in Silicon Valley. Wow, we are so happy for him. Now he becomes a PRO straight away. Even though he did not stay in India, even though he stayed in India for more than 182 days, he automatically becomes PR because he left India purposes. So this is a broad thing, my understanding, and this is the way it is there also. And the PRY is very easily defined. It is straight away, not if he is person resident outside India means a person who is not a resident in India. Citizenship is not relevant for it. Mr. Ram had resided in India during the financial year 1819. Change it, yeah. If you're feeling bad, change it, boss. It doesn't matter. The law has not changed. If you, so 1819 you are doing, okay, you want to make it 23, 24. Okay, not a problem. For less than 183 days. He again came to India on 1st May 2019 for higher studies and business and stayed up to 15th July 2020. Examine his residential status for financial year 1920 and 2021. So 1819 ka behavior will determine 1920. 1920 ka behavior will determine 2021. So 1819, what happened? He stayed for less than 183 days. So 1819 less than 183 days. Then he is a PRY. Okay. Then he comes in May. So 1819 will end on 31/3/2019. So then he comes and stays up to 15th July. Okay. So 1st May, that means, again, let us do the calculation. I'm very weak in calculations. I can't do mental maths. I'm not mental. Mhm. So what do we have here? He came back on 1st May. So 31 days in May, 30 days in June, then 15 days in July. That gives me 76 days he has stayed. And he came back for higher studies and business and stayed up to 15th July 2020. Now let us. And then he goes back. We don't have any further information, so we shall presume that after that he never came to India. Right. Now, did he reside in India for more than 182 days? Actually, the answer is no. Did he come to India? Yes. Did he come to India? Yes. Was it for one of the three purposes? I'm talking about, now I'm not talking about 1920. I'm talking about 2021. 1920 is not PROI, no problem. 2021. For that, did he come to India? Yes, he came. For what purpose? Studies. No, studies is not to be counted. If he's only come for studies, he would still be PROI, but also on business. That's it. So he came to India for one of the three purposes. Okay. So even though he did not stay in India for more than 182 days, got it? Since he came to India for one of the three purposes, he becomes a PROI. He becomes a PROI. My humble request is try to remember this diagram. See this, friends, folded arms. I'm humbly begging you. Remember the diagram. Use the diagram for consolidating the logic. Even if necessary, in a rough area, draw the diagram and use it. No problem. But do not reproduce this diagram as part of your answer. No, don't do it. Don't do it. That is your trick. See, your answer should be well argued answer in English or Hindi, as the case may be. Proper words, properly written sentences. Please do not reproduce the diagram here. Please. That is not the purpose of the diagram. The diagram is meant to help you use logic and answer. So remember, the diagram should be here, not, you shouldn't take bit and all, you shouldn't take, no, you should not take it. Okay, it should be here. So I was recently correcting one paper for an MBA class, where B school, where I'm a faculty. The answer sheet, there was a small bit. Answer sheet. That fellow is such a fool. He has kept that bit in the answer sheet. It was there. Then for the first time in my life, I saw what is a bit. In small letters, he has written, even I could not understand. I am the professor who taught the subject and who is correcting the paper. I could not understand what this was. I was wondering, is this such a thing that I thought? What? Maybe he has written in some code words. See, but I will appreciate that boy. You know why? Or girl, as the case may be, because when I'm correcting, I don't know who they are. The numbers only will come. I don't even know whose identity. The identity will not be known. More than 200 students in a batch. So I don't know who they are. But the point is, I was thinking, hey, very intelligent boy or girl, because this much they have come. All they need to do is to memorize it and keep it here rather than here. That's all. If you remember this diagram, logic, then in the exam hall, if you like me, you are not such, I mean, sorry, all of you are brilliant. Like me, if you are a if me, I am, then maybe in order to support myself, I will diagram in the rough sheet and then do it. Okay. If you want, not necessary. Once you have it in your brain now, yes. Reside. Did he reside in India for more than 20 days? No. No will take you to one route. Yes will take you to another route. It's all. And then again, yes, no, yes, no. Any situation you can cover and you can get the answer, write it neatly, like wherein you should say, Mr. Ram has come to India during financial year 1920 and has stayed for 76 days. That you calculated, 76 days, less than 182 days. He has come to India for higher studies and business. Business is one of the three purposes. Therefore, even though he has not stayed in India for more than 182 days, he would be a person resident in India. Okay. But suppose it's only higher studies, no. Higher studies is not one of the three purposes. See, education is a business for the people running the college, but it is not a business for the student. Okay. Mr. Kishan resided in India during the financial year 1890. He left India on 1st August 19 for USA. Wow. For pursuing higher studies for 3 years. Wow. What would be his residential status? See, again, studies is not a criteria. So one of the three purposes. Okay. And once you're going for studies, it's for a certain period. Therefore, he continues to be a PRIA. Okay. And then we have Miss Elia. Okay. In those days, in the older institute material, earlier, not now. Now the Board of Studies material is extraordinarily good. Those days, this Miss Elia, the name also won't be there. Only Miss would be there. Miss is an air hostess with the British Airways. She flies for 12 days in a month and thereafter takes a break for 18 days. She's accommodated in base, which is Mumbai. So she may be staying in Taj Lands and whatever, enjoying her life, getting her feet pedicured, manicured. Wow. What a life for the air hostess. No way. One of the most miserable lives. Once I was traveling by SpiceJet. It was an evening flight from Kanpur, I think, and I had boarded it, and we are going all the way up to Delhi, and then from Delhi I was taking my Chennai flight. So it was such a thing, not Ahmedabad flight to, I think, Mumbai, Delhi. I went to Delhi to Chennai. The point is, I was sitting in the first seat, and these two girls were there, and nice girls. So I started talking to them, and nice. It's a good life, but it's not easy. It's tough. We think it's easy. It's not. They got their own problems. They got their own stress. Everything is there. But however, for security consideration, she was based in Mumbai. Right. During the financial year, she was accommodated at Mumbai for more than 182 days. What would be her residential status? Now here, the chart, the diagram may not help you much because she did come to India. See, if you look at the chart, it will say, did she come to India? Yes. Was it for the three purposes? No. What are the three purposes? For or on taking up employment. See, she is not coming to India for employment or for taking up employment, on taking up employment. She is coming to India in the course of employment. As in the course of employment. Therefore, it is not one of the three purposes. Moreover, there is also one more distinction they make. They make a distinction between staying in India and residing in India. For residing in India, you should have a permanent address. You should maintain a permanent address. Whereas here she is only having a temporary address in a hotel where she checks in and checks out, checks in and checks out. That is not a permanent address. So this is one more thing you can think about. So the compelling reason is she is not coming for or on taking up employment. She is coming only for in the course of her employment as an air hostess. And she doesn't maintain a permanent residence. Therefore, she is not a residential. She is not a person resident in India. Printex Computers is a Singapore-based company having several business units all over the world. It has a unit for manufacturing computer printers with its headquarters in Pune. So, Singapore-based company has a Pune branch. Right, sir? Now, this Printex has a branch in Dubai, which is controlled by the headquarters in Pune. Now, do it sequentially. Don't jump to Dubai. Go to Pune first. Singapore company has a place of business. It has a branch in, rather a factory or branch in, unit in Pune, the Pune unit. So, office or branch or agency. That is office. Na Pune office hai na. Pune is controlled by a person resident outside India, which is Printex Computers. So, Pune branch is straight away PRII. Pune office is straight away PRII. Printers. Now, this Pune office is controlling Dubai branch. So, Dubai is outside India, no doubt. It is controlled by Pune, not owned by Printex, but controlled by Pune branch, which is the PRII. Therefore, Dubai branch also becomes a PRII. Are you able to understand? This is Printex. So the mistakes these guys have done is allowing the Pune branch to control. They should directly control it from Singapore, but that's quite normal. That's quite normal. When you apply a HO head, generally he will be based in one country, but he will handle 4 or 5 countries. And it's quite natural for him to handle Middle East also. So it's not new, but unfortunately, this makes it that Dubai branch into a PRIA. See, these are the things where your expertise would be needed, where you have to authoritatively state. Right. This is just a point. Section 3, I'm not covering. It's simple section. Sum and substance. If you want to bring foreign exchange into India, it should be done only through an authorized person. If you have any right to receive foreign exchange, if you are an Indian and you have a right to receive foreign exchange, you should receive it only through an authorized person. If you are a foreigner and you are going to receive INR, you cannot do it. Okay? Or a foreign, one great non-NRI. Okay, that NRI also cannot receive it through somebody. You have to take it in your name. Okay? And in foreign exchange. That is a point. And surrender it. So the point here is any transaction between a PRIA and a PROI or any transaction in foreign exchange should happen only through a bank, authorized person or a money changer. Strict rule. Section 3 is the charging section. I'm not covering it because it's too elaborate. You can read it. But the sum and substance is this. So whenever you see a PRIA and a PROI doing something, like, see, recently one company comes to me and says, sir, one NRI is going to invest in my company. Immediately I give him a lecture. Don't say NRI. Which country? Germany, sir. Sir, Germany means he's a German citizen or Indian citizen. Sir, no, sir, no, sir. German citizen. Then I said, don't use the word Indian. Indian is a holy word. If you want to be an Indian, stay in India, be in India, have an Indian passport. Okay? Otherwise, we are happy for you wherever you are. Then don't call yourself an Indian. Okay? So, so this guy is a German, sir. Right. Thank you, sir. Maybe of Indian origin. Maybe he has a small piece of plastic which says he's an OCI. Very good, sir. Because we wanted to get some money from him. So we said, hey, you're OCI, come and invest in India. But that doesn't confer any other benefits to him beyond certain concessions and things like that. That's all. So the point we are making here is the German, he wants to invest in India. Then they say, from his NRO account, he is going to make an investment. Non-resident ordinary account. In those days, when he was an Indian, he would have had an account that he would have designated as his non-resident ordinary account. All the Indian payments, it will come through that. Allowed, nothing wrong. Maybe he's getting some rentals in India or some hereditary property kind income there. Whatever it is, it can be there. Now, he wants to make investment out of that. So where is the FEMA here, sir? Baba, maybe he is making it from his NRO account, but he is a PROI, na. That makes it cross-border. So then it's an INR only, no, sir. True. But section 3, please read. So what should I do now? Nothing wrong. It's not prohibited. Go to a bank, inform the bank, and ask them to get approval or ask them to handle the transaction. They will go to their ECD, get approval. See, this is a peculiar situation. Nobody knows what to do with it. But when will the problem happen? See, I'll tell you, he is also acquiring shares from some of the promoters. 100% the FCTRS should be done and the FDA forms should be done. Why? Because tomorrow he will invest through NRO account. Then after the company does well, he wants to sell, he will come and say, I want to repatriate this amount. Oh, we can repatriate because at the time when he bought it in INR, he didn't go through the procedure. There is no FCGPR, nothing. How can I do anything? So the RB will prohibit you from repatriating it. That money can never after be repatriated. I said, if that gentleman is okay with that, absolutely no problem. Then in his life, he can never take it out. Nobody can take it out. That share, if you sell, the money stays in India. You can't take it out. Repatriation not allowed. See, this is the problem. You can't treat FEMA like some normal subject. Logic and all. I mean, logic can be applied, but that logic is what you're now learning. See, 4 says Indian residents are prohibited or prevented from acquiring, holding, owning, possessing, or transferring any foreign exchange, foreign security, or removable property abroad. That's a very, very, shall we say, vexed issue because India also pulled out of bilateral agreements for investment. Bilateral investment agreements also. I don't want to go into the policy level decisions. I'm only saying we have come out. Just like Sumit is giving me information, I'm also giving you information. That's all. Okay? We have pulled out. Right, wrong, good, bad, ugly, not my problem. Point is, India is still... See, when Manmohanji decided to open up the economy, I'll come to current account, I'll explain to you in more detail. When he opened up the economy, straight away Manmohanji said, full convertibility in the rupee. Does that mean what? Whenever you want, you can take your money out, do whatever you want in foreign country with your money. Not allowed. Only current account we opened up. Capital account, we'll come to that topic, then you will understand. Still closed. You have to get permission, or general permissions are there, all that. But you can't, just like that, Indian citizen cannot just like that take money and go. Good, bad, ugly, I don't know. I don't want to comment about it. There are other... See, I've traveled all over Europe. Europe, no problem. You are a citizen of Spain. You just simply sell your properties, take the money, go. Go to US. They won't ask you where you're going. But you invest in US property, no questions asked. Do whatever you want. Enjoy. See, they have full convertibility. They are matured economies. We are not yet there. So we still want to conserve our foreign exchange. Therefore, you can't do all this. They're buying property. No. So you might ask me, sir, is it unfair? I don't know. Fair and unfair. Teacher of law is not here to explain fair and unfair. Teacher of law is here to tell you what is the law. The chartered accountant is not here to say fair or unfair. That is for the advocate to argue in court before on a writ petition, not for me to argue. All I'm saying is, the principle operating here is simple. See, the funds belong to you, but the forex belongs to the government of India. Right, sir? Which means, even with all the liberalization of Manmohan, we didn't go for full convertibility. We are only still in partial convertibility of the rupee. We are still worried. But slowly they are letting you go. Like they're seeing what you will do. See, you are like a tamed pigeon or parrot. They're slightly opening the cage and seeing what you're going to do. They let you out, but then they are ready to catch you again, letting you out. So you go flying, then you come back. Good. That's what they're trying to do. That's what is called liberalized remittance scheme. They say take some money out too. But the minute that's allowed, first thing our friends will do is buy a house in London, buy a house in Texas, whatever. I mean, nobody will buy in Texas, but sorry. Buy a house in Silicon Valley, Los Angeles, on outskirts of Los Angeles, California, wherever, Monterey. Oh, buy a house, marry a foreigner, enjoy. But remember one thing, if you in the US, the law is very simple. 10 years if you are married, and there is no prenuptial agreement by which there is a clarity on who will get what of the common property, especially in California. You go there, 10 years you live with the lady, enjoy your life. 11th year, she will divorce you. And when she divorces you, 50% of your global asset will belong to her, including the asset that your father registered in your name in Andhra. Everything will go. Half will go to her. Be careful. This might think I'm warning unnecessarily, but I have known 3 people who got cut like this. The girl will live with you. Everything she will do. 2 children also born. She will divorce you. You will have to maintain her alimony. She'll get 50% plus child maintenance also. So you have to educate the child also. Okay? Enjoy. For 10 years, enjoyment. You are going to suffer for the whole life after that. And all your Indian assets. And you know, the American lawyer will hire an Indian lawyer to make investigation and find out what all assets are there across the world in your name. They will bring to the court. And they will say, these are all the assets belonging to him. 50% belongs to her. So if you want to marry a foreigner, you go abroad and you are so falling in love, you're welcome. But be careful. Go to a good advocate. Get a prenuptial. Maybe maintain it. If I divorce you, if we divorce, you get nothing, I get nothing. Bye, bye, bye. That's all. Something like that. Sorry, this is unsolicited advice given to you. But I think later on in your life, you will thank me that I told this. When you go to Silicon Valley and then you'll remember, hey, that bloody Srikanth told me, let me be a little careful with this Susan or whoever it is. Let me get a prenuptial. And you are safe. Even if Susan is nice, good, yeah. Live forever, be Dirgha Sumangali, let it be good. Let her be Dirgha Sumangali, you Dirgha Ayushman. You be happy. But if she is like this type, at least you are protected now. Okay, now we come to current account and capital account transactions. General principle. Current account transactions are freely permitted. See, this is what we mean by partial convertibility in the rupee. Partial convertibility means not fully. So, Current account freely permitted, unless specifically prohibited. There are very few specific prohibitions. Otherwise, enjoy. You want to see, I import a lot of pens. I am a pen collector. I love to buy. Import means nothing. I go online and I order a pen and I get it. It may take me 45 days. Recently, I ordered an annotated edition of Shakespeare. Cost me about 19,000 rupees from US. A rare bookseller had it and I ordered it, 19,000 rupees. Just sent the money by my card and I got it. Like it's displayed in my library, The point I'm trying to make is current account transactions freely permitted unless specifically prohibited. Capital account transactions are prohibited unless specifically permitted. Are you able to see the difference? So, what is a capital account transaction? Acquiring, holding, owning, possessing, or transferring any forex, foreign security, or immovable property abroad. So, not fully permitted, but don't worry, we are slowly opening it, and much liberalization. Buying immovable property, it is possible within limit. You can buy shares in now foreign. You can buy a foreign portfolio. You can buy foreign company ka shares. You can acquire, or you can buy. You can even do portfolio investment in foreign exchange exchanges like New York Stock Exchange and all that. Hello, slowly, okay? Because we are afraid. The Indian propensity to overdo is what frightens us. So now we get into current account transaction. I freely permitted, but see, current account transaction is not defined. Means negative. A transaction other than capital account transaction. And then they give some examples. See, still I want to know, sir, what is current account transactions are like that. Then some examples are given. Includes and without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing. Do you remember that word without prejudice we learned in interpretation? Without prejudice means in addition or without taking away from the generality. So current account transaction means a transaction other than capital account. Capital account transaction is going to be defined. So current account transaction other than capital. But some examples we are giving. Like payments due in connection with foreign trade, other business services and short-term banking and credit facilities in the ordinary course of business. As I told you, anything, foreign trade, buying and selling goods, even buying. So you are an exporter, you're selling goods to a foreign country, collecting foreign exchange, current account transaction. You want to import goods, go China, maybe you want to bring from China and use, no problem, import, freely permitted, enjoy. Payments due as interest on loans and as net income from investments. You want to pay. You want to receive. If at all see the original investment or the original loan should have been permitted. If that is the problem. If the original investment has been done without knowledge of RBI, now you say I'm going to pay dividend. RBI will say, dividend with the current account will allow you. How about that original shares? When did he invest? Where is the FCGPR? So be careful. See, many foreign companies who come to India do not know all this. And I'm sorry to say they are sometimes wrongly advised by other fellow professionals. I will not name them. Why this happens? By the time they come to a chartered accountant like you or me, they are fully damaged and come. Why? I had so much trouble with one company from Europe to correct it. It took me 6 months, 9 months to correct it. And first of all, I have to educate these people. They come and sit and I have to educate them. Sure. So only they simply don't know. There was a Japanese company where I was the liquidator. See, as liquidator, I have to repay the money. I can, but I have to pay it to him. So the money is lying in Tokyo. In the meantime, I have to do FCGPR analysis, reconciliation, go to the bank, provide for every share I have to give FCGPR. Only then he will permit the money to go out. It's like that. It's a very interesting subject. Once you get into it, what you should do, you should become, see, what I am now teaching for the inter-level is only the broad law, basics of the law. Final level, you will have the more depth, the regulations and all that. So RBI comes out with circulars, okay, to the authorized persons. They are called APDIR circulars. They are very, very important. You have to get out. They are public knowledge. It's all available on the net. RBI ka site mein hai. Just have to download it and go through it. And every July 1st, generally on July 1st, the RBI comes out with a master circular, wherein they will sometimes they may continue with the earlier one, then they'll only make changes in it, or sometimes they may totally revamp the whole policy framework and give. So on FDI, what is the new forms, new thing? The July one, if Mr. Circular is, if you want to be specialized in FEMA, like budget for taxpayer people, this for you. You should be thorough in it. Keep going through it, make notes, and whenever a client comes, see. That is how we have to learn. See, one thing, sir, can I attend the certification course in FEMA? You can. Will that give me clients? I don't think so. If you show expertise, a client will come. Then that client will go and refer one more client. That is, and then you learn. You run, you learn, you do, you learn, you do, and you become an expert. Over say 7 years, 8 years, you become an expert. Overnight, you can't get a kagas mein, you can't say so and so is an expert in this topic. Sorry, sir. I'm an all India rank holder. Even I'm saying just a piece of paper cannot make me an expert. I become an expert by actually doing it again and again and again, and I learn. This is one thing where, this is also a danger, because how will I acquire expertise if I don't have clients? It's a chicken and egg story. Somewhere you have to kill it and decide chicken and go ahead with it, or egg and go ahead with it. Something you have to do and get that first client, small client, do well, learn from him. Then he will go and refer, hey, foreign exchange problem, that man is good, sir. They will come to you. Then slowly the practice develops. It takes time, 3 years. Suddenly the critical mass, and then the snowball effect will happen. Then you won't have time to handle things. Then you'll need people to come, you will employ people, all sorts of things. It takes about 7 years. Nothing in life comes just like that, Baba. Nothing comes. Sorry. Even in the morning when I go to the toilet now, I have to struggle. Even that is having some effort. How you will be able to become FEMA expert? Studying one piece of paper on a certification course will make you an expert, is it? You can learn, you can understand, you can have the knowledge, but expertise comes with work. Okay, good. Again, your living expenses of parents, spouse residing abroad, expenses in connection with foreign travel, education, medical care of parents, all that. Whatever. See, any person may sell or draw foreign exchange to or from an authorized person if such sale or drawal is a current account transaction. So many times, you won't even know that you're doing this, because you would be having a card, credit card, which is given by a bank. Some bank or the other would have issued the card. Maybe the card company would be different. The partner bank would be different. Whatever it is, there would be a card with you. That card would be pre-approved for forex transactions. Some cards are not approved. Some cards are local cards. Some cards are forex cards. Most of the higher end cards are all automatically forex cards. The platinum, etc., or a gold circle, platinum, and all are automatically forex cards. So the minute you give the card number in the website, automatically it will be recognized as a forex card, pre-approved. So means you can straight away draw. It is like you're doing it through an authorized person. The bank which has issued the card, you're doing it through that bank only. Next time when you get your card statement for forex transactions, you'll see it is given separately. And the rate at which the conversion happens also would be given. You should be careful. Go for a card which will use the current rate, because these guys put in, the banks are not fools. They allow you to do foreign exchange transaction because they get a small spread in the rate. So they they buy at a lower rate and sell it to you at a higher rate. Whereas some cards are there where the markup is not there. For example, I don't want to name banks, but I have some foreign banks, they give you without a markup. Means there is a markup, but it's too small and it will be not visible, and you will be seeing Google car rate, the rate that I just now read out, will be the same rate that's for the transaction. When I travel abroad, I use this card, and sometimes just for the sake of it, I'll check up the rate, and I'll check up my transaction rate, which will come in my bank car. And I find that it's the same rate. Google rate and bank rate, same. Okay, that means that maybe there's a markup because but see, that guy is able to buy it at a lower rate, below the announced rate in the website, because there would be a bank-to-bank rate now. Maybe he'll make some money there. That's, I don't know. Okay. Or maybe he simply wants to encourage me to spend so that he'll get money from the, the trader, the business. That guy will have to pay him commission. Now that income is good enough for him. So he's foregoing his forex profit. Okay. Not for me to speculate. Now, The central government may, in public interest and in consultation with the Reserve Bank, impose reasonable restrictions for current account transactions. Sir, I want to do terrorism activities, sir. I want to import AK-47, sir. Sorry, sir. Prohibited. See, just because we said free, don't go and do all this. Not that you are going to do. Some people may get the wrong idea. So they have said prohibited. Certain transactions are prohibited like that. Believe me, AK-47, if you try to buy, you first of all, your bank will block. Okay. Two, Ministry of Home Affairs will be coming straight, van will be driving to the local police station to catch you and take you there. Don't do all that even for fun. Okay. First they take you and put you in the lockup and ask, who are you? What are you trying to do here? Like that. Okay. So if you want to definitely buy an AK-47, obviously you can't do it through the websites. Okay. Don't worry. No. I was in Azerbaijan where there's a borderline, areas where they have open markets where they say they're illegal. They sell. Remittance out of lottery winnings, remittance of, Mr. X comes to India, buys a lottery ticket in Kerala. He goes to Kumarakam, he enjoys, and then Robert Donison, whatever, he comes out and he buys a lottery ticket, and his luck that correctly, Sukra is looking at Labasthanam 11th place, he's winning the lottery. Wow, Robert Donison is so happy. And I want to take it back to Italy. No, sir, you can't. Remittance out of lottery winnings, not allowed. Remittance of income from racing, riding, etc., not allowed. So he comes to India and does racing, riding, photography, Unless, there are some valid exemptions, like suppose it's a national photography, so it's a nationally recognized photography association, and it's approved by the government, and he is winning the trophy, he can take it. Otherwise, no. Remittance for purchase of lottery tickets, banned proscribed magazines. Proscribed means, what shall I say? Prohibited. Actually, proscribed is the same as prohibited. Prohibited, it should not be read like that. Prohibited. Some magazines are felt to be, what shall I say, seditionary and creating a wrong opinion about the government. Therefore, it's proscribed. See, in the totalitarian countries, proscription of reading material is very high. Most democratic countries generally do not do proscribing, but still some books can be proscribed and said this book is seditionary, like our Salman Rushdie. He wrote a book called Satanic Verses. Fatwa was issued on proscription. Book should not be read. And in India, it was banned for some time. Then again, they opened up. But during the fatwa, the Indian government also said, no, Satanic Verses banned. I have one or two copies of Satanic Verses are there. At that time, people who bought it are keeping it, but proscribed. I had the chance to look at it once from one of my friends, but immediately he took it back and kept it inside the... No, it's not proscribed. Freely, Satanic Verses you can read if you want. If you get it, you can read it. Payment of commission on exports made towards equity investment in joint ventures, wholly owned subsidiaries abroad of... Okay. Football pools and sweepstakes are real fun. You see, in India, we don't have that. But in Ireland, there is something called the Irish sweepstakes, where, there are football matches going on continuously. What you need to do is you need to predict the winners, just like racing, and it will be announced. And if you predict it correctly, you will win. You will win money. My co-brother was in Ireland, he used to do it regularly every day. That's what he would. He would take euro, put it and come, put it and come. Then after he came to India also, he wanted to do it. Then he told me, sir, I want to buy. He said, sorry, sir, proscribed. You've been sorry, you cannot do it because remittance of money for a football pool. So he located somebody there who would do it on his behalf, sharing profits. And all he was doing. All fun. But believe me, he lost more money than he made. Payment of commission on exports made towards equity investment in joint ventures, wholly owned subsidiary abroad of India. See, paying commission on exports allowed. You got a foreign agent who procures business, pay him. Now, what you have done, You have taken money from India, set up a joint venture or a wholly owned subsidiary in a foreign country. Why did you do that? We gave you huge amount of money to take there and invest. What was the purpose? To procure orders. Now, again, why are you paying commission to them? The job of this wholly owned subsidiary is to get export business, right? So you can't pay commission to your own wholly owned subsidiary or joint venture, right? Remittance of dividend, in which dividend balancing is applicable. See, again, when they allow you to take money out of, when they allow a foreigner to come to India, sometimes nowadays this is never done. In those days, there was something called the Foreign Investment Promotion Board, FIPB. One nonsense was, even now it's there for higher level investments, but for up to smaller level and all, you can come directly. It is open. Open route is there. Single window is there. So these are all part of liberalization. In those days, even any company wanted to invest in India, they should have a joint venture and they should come through FABB route. I'm talking about 1980 and 90. When I see my entire company secretary syllabus now, the syllabus for which I wrote the exam in 1990, 91 I cleared CS. That year, the entire syllabus changed. Can you imagine? They wrote in fact, I got Chinnubai Arshan silver medal for the best paper in allied laws, corporate and allied laws. I was the winner of that medal. But the entire syllabus, including FERA gone, FIPB gone, the Controller of Capital Issue gone, SEBI has come, everything gone, 92. None of the old laws, everything new. So that whatever I got silver medal, that syllabus is not there now. The new syllabus was totally changed. Okay. I'm not teaching the new syllabus to you. The point I'm trying to make is everything changed. And dividend balancing and all is a story of those days. But then it is still here because they want to be sure that this should not happen. See, when a foreign company wants to invest in India, one of the conditions FAB will say is, because we don't mind giving you an opportunity to do business in India. You manufacture, use our facilities and all that. But you should give me export. You should bring in net foreign exchange from foreign country because I need the foreign exchange now for my balance of payment. So bring in. So they will say, if you want to declare a dividend, you should bring so much forex. First year so much, second year so much, third year so much. So if this company is not able to meet those export targets, they cannot declare a dividend to their original promoter. So wherever this dividend balancing means, if they have not exported, foreign exchange has not come in to that, then they are not fulfilled the condition, then they cannot declare dividend. So when they are prohibited like that, they cannot remit dividend. See, so much elaboration for this. Today, it is not there at all. Today, sincerely, I tell you, whenever a foreign company or a foreigner comes to me and says, I want to do business in India, I'll tell him, boss, you can set up a branch in India, blah, blah, whatever. We can get you. It's very costly, but we can do it. And you will be going through all the, the Companies Act, Company Incorporated Roads, and we'll file the return button, everything. Easy way, I'll tell you. I'll incorporate a company in India for you. You invest entirely into it. What you're doing, automobile ancillary, software, consulting, no problem. It's all open, sir. It's an open route. You can just bring in can full 100% automatic route. Just come and do it. Invest into this company. I'll get FCGPR for you. Run the business. Declare dividend. Tax is there. We'll deduct and pay it to you. Claim the tax in your country. Okay. And go ahead. Enjoy. So that works. And that's how I do it. If he sets up an office or place of business in India, I'll tell him, boss, it's going to be trouble for you. And in fact, the first consultation itself is that. And so some fellow professional would advise them, set up a place of business in India and all. Then they will find that very, very difficult. So they will then come to me through referral, and then first thing I'll tell them, form a company in India. Invest into that company. Make it a wholly owned subsidiary. Do your business, earn money, go, enjoy. Okay. Why are you getting into all this trouble like that? One more thing, that foreign company cannot buy a land in India. Again, full convertibility will be not as. So just like you are controlled for buying property outside India, a PROI cannot buy in India. He has to get permission for capital account transaction. Okay. So, but that is not there for a subsidiary. Subsidiary is a PRIA boss, company incorporated in India. It can buy land, building, whatever. Okay. Just for your information. Let's see with the time. because I have to complete this and I have to cover. Yeah, we can do it. Not a problem. So, LLP also. LLP will quickly cover it. Now, so callback services, interest income on funds held in NR special SR, NRSR, which is non-repatriable, non-resident special rupee scheme, not allowed. Because under the NRSR scheme, the interest also should not be remitted and not allowed to be repatriated. Okay, so here I'm not going to cover it in full. It's there in the Institute material. Simple logic. There is a purpose of remittance. If it comes under one of these purposes, then you have to get the approval of the appropriate ministry or department. This is very important from the exam point of view. So be thorough with this. If I tell you now also, you'll forget it. You read it on your own once thoroughly. For example, you are a Bharatanatyam artist. You want to take a cultural tour to Scandinavian countries. Please go. But you can't take foreign exchange unless it is approved by the Ministry of Human Resource Development. See, when you go there, you have to spend for your troop members, staying in hotel and all. You may be, if they are going to take care of you, go. But that amounts to foreign hospitality. Be careful. That is covered by FCRA. Anyway, you want to spend on your own, then you have to get the Ministry of Human Resources Development approval, right? Which is why better go through government sponsoring. Then no problem at all. You'll enjoy. And minimum get a kagas, you just take a piece of paper saying you are approved by the ministry and go. You'll get good treatment wherever you go. So, and so on and so forth. So, for example, you want to hire a transponder. If you are a TV channel, then you have to get Ministry of Information and Broadcasting. If you are an internet service provider, then you have to get the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology. Right? All this is there. Similarly, this is important and I will cover it. We saw prohibited, Schedule 2 read with Rule 4, with the Rule 3. Rule 3. Schedule 1 read with Rule 3. Approval of Ministry, Schedule 2 read with Rule 4. Approval of Reserve Bank of India. Means Government of India here is Reserve Bank of India. Reserve Bank of India. Prior approval of RBI. Schedule 3 read with Rule 5. Right? See, earlier they had separate limits for all these items. Now they have put all of them in one bundle. Private visits to any country except Nepal and Bhutan. I've been to both Nepal and Bhutan. Nepal and Bhutan, they're jolly well supposed to accept Indian rupee. These buggers have no business asking for their currency or foreign currency. They're supposed to accept it. Yes, we are giving them so much. So they have to take in INR. You go to Nepal, but then be careful. Don't take 500 rupee note. They don't accept. Take 100 rupee notes. They'll accept. 200, they'll accept. 500 generally they don't accept. 2000 definitely not. Now it's not available also. 2000 they won't even because of counterfeiting. So they'll say no, we won't accept. And they'll be very rude also to you. So better you take 100 rupee, 200 rupee note bundles and go with you. Preferably use card, yeah. That's easier. Gift or donation, going abroad for employment, immigration. Immigration means coming into India. Emigration means going out once and for all. Bye. You're going to go abroad. Okay. Maintenance of close relatives abroad. Travel for business as against private visits. Attending a conference, specialized training, etc. Medical treatment abroad. Then studies abroad. I think if you look at the foreign exchange data, Indians would have paid much, much more foreign exchange for help studying abroad for their children. That's a whole big thing. Australia, Canada, US, they make money like this. So the children also madly go there and they want to get foreign degrees like Gandhi, MK Gandhi, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, they also want to go abroad. But parent has to pay through the nose. Okay. See, earlier group, in 70s group, they went on scholarships. Pure scholarship, they worked and they did. Next group also got some scholarships and all, or else they worked. They went there, did all sorts of jobs and they educated themselves. This generation, they don't have the merit to get the scholarship, but they want to go abroad. So the foreign universities say, okay, come, we'll give you a thing, pay and come. They give a seat. So, and then they go there and do some degree and come back. India, no use. So you have to stay there only. Bye. That's all. become a citizen of the country, marry the Susan or Elizabeth, enjoy, be in for 10 years, enjoy your life. That's all. I know I'm being a little sarcastic. What to do? Huh? see, when I finished my CA, at the time the craze was to do CAT and MBA or write GMAT and go to US. Many of my friends who finished CA, they went abroad. Even I was told, Srikanth, you are all India rank holder, write your GMAT, come abroad and enjoy. But sorry, Mera Bharat Mahan. I said, no, I will struggle here. It's okay. I will be in India because Janani Janma Bhumi. That is more important. And so I said, I will not go. And I'm happy where I am. Okay. So that is possibly why I'm a little sarcastic. Now, so this entire bundle of remittances, there's a total financial annual limit, one for every financial year, $250,000. 250,000 US dollars. See, this number may change. Okay. As of now, it is 250. It may change. They might keep changing it. Nearing the exam date, if you check the RTP, the Board of Studies will give you the exam. As of now, for September, no problem, 250,000. This is called the Liberalized Remittance Scheme. Okay. So that's a total limit. You can't go more than that. Except for medical or studies, if you give the university ka thing or the hospital ka thing, you can take. Other than that, there's a limit. One more thing, remember, this 250,000 is common for both current account and the capital account. So if you want to take money out and invest in shares in a foreign country, you can. But the cap is 250. Once you use this 250, see, for example, first you went on a private visit. You went to Bahamas. You came back. You spent $50,000. Now only $200,000. It's a limit. So as you bought shares in a foreign company through approved route, you investment in portfolio, another $100,000. So now you got only $100,000. It's a combined limit and everything is subsumed in it. When you come to capital account, you will learn this. Okay. So all this is there and just go through all this. These are limits. Just be thorough with it. See, if you are procuring consultancy services from a foreign, shall we say, consulting outside India, up to 10 million you can pay for infrastructure and up to 1 million for other consultancy services. See, once upon a time, when somebody wanted to send money abroad urgently, genuine reason, not for any other purpose, they will come to us in a hurry. So even the banker, what they will do, they will put it under this consultancy services and send the money. Then we have to do all the back working. It's mess. Nowadays, I don't encourage my clients to do that. Even if the banker advises, I tell them, please don't listen to the banker. Go through the normal route, get the approval, send it. Okay. If you want to invest in a wholly owned subsidiary, ODA route hai. I will tell you how to do it. Go through it. Go through the ODA route. Don't go in any other route. Etc., etc. If the transaction is not listed in any of the above three schedules, it can be freely undertaken. Right? Suppose you are having something called the resident foreign currency account or the exchange earners foreign currency account. Say, as I told you, let's say that you are rendering a service, online service, Americans, you're doing psychological treatment online Zoom. So they pay you $10. There are a lot of people who do that. So therapies are given online. So foreigners are so completely confused. They don't mind doing anything. So they come to Swamiji. Swamiji will give all sorts of therapy through the net. Swamiji is getting foreign exchange. Very good for him. Now, so all that money will accumulate. He can keep it in a foreign exchange itself. Instead of converting it, he can keep it in dollar. So that when next time Swamiji is going for America tour, take this money and go. Enjoy Swamiji like that. Okay. So, see, in the exam, you will get question like this. Invariably, you will have three parts. One part will be Schedule 1. Another part will be Schedule 2. Third part will be Schedule 3. See here. Commission on exports under rupee state credit note, Schedule 1, prohibited. US dollar 30,000 for a business trip. Earlier, the limit was $25,000. Now it is subsumed in the 250,000, right? And remittance of 200,000 for payment as prize money to a winning team in hockey tournament. Approval is needed. Ministry of HRD, Ministry of Human Resource Development. Remittance of sponsorship money. Okay, you need Ministry of HRD. Please go through these lists. So I am not covering it, but you will go through it thoroughly. And just if you see its ugly face, right, if this requires the approval of the Ministry of Human Resource Development. Okay, unless it is sponsored by a national sports. See, other than international, national, state level sports bodies. Which is why, if you want to have a chess tournament or something, better you form a recognized state level or national level body and do the tournament through that body. So these are all similar. See, Mr. Gopal, a senior artist in India, proposed to organize a cultural program at Dubai and request to draw forex. Ministry of Culture or whatever it is. Just check up. Shah proposes to visit United States on a business tour. US dollar 40. See, nowadays, if they're going to give it to you, they will clearly give you with the amount that is already spent and LRS. So that whether that LRS has been violated, you have to see. That is how they'll ask you. So if that 40,000 is going to be more than that. If you add that 40,000 and he's exceeding the $250,000, then Shah cannot take. He can take. See, the third schedule is not prohibited. You have to get approval of the Reserve Bank of India. That's all. Nothing else. Right. Now we go on to capital account transaction, which is assets. A capital account transaction means any transaction which alters assets or liabilities in India belonging to a PROI, or it has the effect of altering assets or liabilities, including contingent liabilities outside India, so PRI. So when a PROI wants to buy, sell, or transfer an asset in India, it is a capital account transaction. When a PRII wants to acquire an asset or take on a liability or even a contingent liability. For example, if an Indian company wants to give a guarantee on behalf of its foreign subsidiary, it is a capital account transaction to a foreign bank. So you are creating a contingent liability outside India. You are a PRII, then for capital account. Not prohibited, but you will have to get specific permission. Okay. And there are certain prohibited activities for which a PROI cannot invest in India. Prohibited. Chit fund business, no. Nidhi company, no. Agricultural or plantation activity, no. Real estate business, no. Construction of farmhouses, no. But if you want to set up a rate or you want to develop townships, etc., no. And transferable development rights are there where these are sold for getting extra, building space and all that. Sorry, if you can't invest into a company engaged in trading in transferable development rights. So Mr. Banda, a software engineer of Indian origin, took employment in USA. He is a resident of India for a long time. He desires to acquire a farmhouse in Muna, Kerala. See, one more thing. It doesn't matter if Banda is a foreign citizen, Indian citizen of US or a citizen of India. Or maybe, green card holder is not a citizen of US, still a citizen of India. Green card holder. But once he gets the passport, that's it. To acquire a farm. See, my sister herself is a citizen of US. My brother-in-law, both their children are citizens of US. Okay. What to say? Okay. Again, this Janani Janmabhoomi is in Champu Ramayana, where, Rama is sitting in Lanka on the mountain top and seeing the golden Lanka. He is Swarnamayi Lanka. And Vibhishana has told him, you be the king of Lanka. You be Lankeshwar. You rule here. Why you want to go back to Ayodhya? Be here. Rama says, no. Janani Janmabhoomi. For me, Ayodhya is where I am. Even though this Lanka is golden and rich, I don't want to stay here. I want to go back to my Janani Janmabhoomi. This is what Rama tells Lakshmana, let us go back to our, I hanker for my Ayodhya, for my native place. Let me go back. Okay. So, so this man, our friend Mr. Banda, wants to acquire a farmhouse in Munnar, Kerala, right? And no problem. To make investment in farmhouse. No, 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 no. Prohibited. Banda is a citizen of US. He cannot acquire a farmhouse in Munnar. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. What to do? Okay. Real estate business or construction of farmhouses. Sorry. Okay. And he cannot make an investment in Nidhi. Sorry. Rose Real Estate Limited, an Indian company formed for the purpose of development of township. Go ahead. That you are allowed. But other than that, now, Mr. Banda, with reference to for whether there are any restriction in respect of, there are restrictions. Also determine the appeal procedure to Mr. Unsatisfactory. What a name. There are people, but there are a lot of people. Yeah, they are Mr. Unsatisfactory. In fact, they go to heaven also, they will ask, where is the complaints department? I want to complain. Even in heaven, they will ask, where I want to make a complaint. Where is the complaints department like that? Such people are there. Mr. Unsatisfactory. He wants to appeal. What is the appellate procedure? I will show you. See, this is the appellate procedure. Under FEMA, there is something called the adjudicating authority, the so-called ED, Enforcement Directorate. There you will find, like you have an assistant commissioner of income tax, there's an assistant director or a deputy director. Up to 1 crore offense, he will adjudicate and pass an order, right? Above him, there is a director. So where it's more than or equal to 1 crore or above, it go to director. Okay, you're not happy with the order of an adjudicating authority of assistant director or deputy director, you will go and appeal against it to the special director. Special director appeals. Similar to your CAT appeals in income tax, who is the same rank as your commissioners, the jurisdictional commissioners, right? Then against either this guy on a original order or this guy, when you've gone on appeal and you're not happy with the order, you go to the FEAT, Foreign Exchange Appellate Tribunal, which is similar to your ITAD. Now, you're not happy with that. So this appeal, you get 45 days. This appeal, you get another 45 days. But of course, if you can do some delay can be accepted, provided there's a condemnation of delay. Finally, if you're not happy with the appellate tribunal itself, High Court, 60 days. So you can also see the opportunity for practice here, where if you're a specialist and you can, right up to appellate tribunal, you can appear as a chartered accountant. Up to this. High Court alone, you need to brief an advocate. Up to appellate tribunal, you can go as a chartered accountant. Okay. Sorry. So this is unsatisfactory advice. Friends, I have covered the essence of FEMA. The essence of FEMA. And the time now is 1948, 7:48. I'll just have to cover, what the stick marks are. Okay. Anyway, so I will go to LLP. Before that, let us have a small break for 5 minutes. In case LLP topic takes some time, permit me to go beyond that half an hour I've got, another 15 minutes, if necessary, to complete that. Sir, small breaks are 5 minutes. Small break. Sir, Ashokji, small break. Welcome back from your well-deserved break, a short break, more for me to refresh myself and come. I hope you also did the same thing. So we go to this topic. See, earlier this topic was, I think, in the foundation or whatever you call it, it's CPT, whatever. And now it's here, the Limited Liability Partnership Act. So some of you might have already studied it earlier. So therefore, it's not something new to you. And the Limited Liability Partnership Act of 2008, just like the one-person company, one-person company has become a need of the hour, where many foreigners or not foreigners, Indian citizens are who are abroad want to set up a place of a one-person company. Similarly, for setting up startups and all that. Similarly, there is a need for a LLP. Earlier there was no. Earlier you had only the partnership simpliciter, that is under the Indian Partnership Act 1932. So the concept of the Indian Partnership Act was simple. People, more than two or more people coming together to carry on a common business. Acts done by one will bind the other, mutual agency. The liability will be unlimited. That was the problem. So which means Mr. A wanted to start a business. A has money, very rich man. B says he has knowledge of the business. So together they start doing business. A is a very trusty man. So they go to the market. Monday, they set up a shop. Then A gives us money. Then they also borrow from the bank. And then they start trading, buying goods and selling goods, doing very well. So this guy really knew how to run the business, the partner. And A was a sort of a relaxed chap. He used to come to the shop and then just look around. Yes, very good, very good. More of a management type. And then he used to go off. So 6 months later, suddenly, this partner is not to be seen. A goes and finds out that there is a huge liability to the bank. But some stock is there. But the entire collection, most of the collection has been siphoned by our partner. And the bank is, the debt is there, plus creditors are also there. Stock is not sufficient. So what happens? The firm insolvent? No. A may not become insolvent, but whatever deficit, whatever has to be paid, all the liabilities of the firm, now A has to pay. How about the other partner? Boss, he is also liable, but catch him first. So he will tell, boss, we are partners. You're getting 60, he's getting 40. So I will give you 60% of the debt. The creditors will say, no. Every partner is liable jointly and severally. So you are liable independently. You have to pay the entire amount fully. Okay. So his individual assets can be attached for the repayment of the debt due by the firm. Now, so this is the greatest danger in the old partnership, Indian Partnership Act. So the solution is, which means, again, look at a firm of chartered accountancy. Definitely, you see, somebody may take a risk, sign a balance, huge damages, all of us have to bear. So we need some kind of a protection. I became a partner of a firm, my liability should be limited. Right? So how to limit it? So the new law has come. It's a new form of legal business entity with limited liability. Whose liability is limited? Brothers and sisters, remember, in the company form of organization, whose liability is limited? The member ka liability is limited to the amount, if any, unpaid or the amount guaranteed. Right, sir? Same way, here in limited liability partnership, it is partner ka liability which is limited. Right? One more thing, the limited liability partnership becomes a separate legal entity. We'll come to that. We'll come to the special features. It is an alternate corporate business vehicle. So it's a body corporate. Okay. It allows the partners the flexibility. And why not then go for a company? Because company has more stringent compliance procedures, forms to be filed. Company secretaries enjoy doing it. No, this form, that form, MGT 14, MGT 15, 25, MZ. All sorts of forms they have. We don't know. They're lost count of the number of forms these guys can invent to torture the corporate client. So whatever it is, here nothing, not much. Just one annual return, one balance sheet, audit, go. So that's slightly better. Therefore, it is somewhat easier. The LLP will be liable for the full extent of its assets. Partners are not liable. Partners of the liability of the partners will be limited to the extent of their capital contribution. See, I don't know how far this is correct because where is the liability there? Yeah, your loss will be limited to the extent of your capital contribution. Your loss. If you have made a promise to give something, there is liability. Here you have already given the money. That money will go. That's all. Go swaha. Over. Go swaha. So swaha. Everything over. This part will go. But where is the liability? I seriously don't know. Anyway, see, this one more thing. The people who drafted this law are the same great people who drafted the Companies Act 2013. So all the funny things there you will find here also. With some more added tamasha here. So body corporate is different. See, I'm selective topics, not the complete topic, selective time limit. Within the time limit, I'm doing. Okay. Selective topics. If you want to, there's no, for this particular topic, there is no long lecture also. Because I've never taught this topic before. First time I'm teaching it, but I'm sure some other faculty would have taught it. It could be there. Check it out. It could be there. Long lecture could be there for this. Body corporate. It means the company as defined in clause 20 of the section 2 of the Companies Act. Wow. Company is a body corporate. It includes LLP registered under this act. See, under the Companies Act also, LLP is a body corporate. Under the Companies Act, LLP is a body corporate. A LLP incorporated outside India. A company incorporated outside India. So body corporate includes company incorporated outside India, LLP incorporated outside India, and an LLP registered under this act. But does not include corporation sole. See, corporation sole is not there in India. See, corporation sole is a different concept. Yeah, it's not there in India. Okay. See, the King Charles III is a corporation sole. Okay, don't. Cooperative society. In Companies Act also, this is not included. Do you remember? Any other specified body corporate. So LLP is a body corporate. Limited liability partnership agreement, LLP agreement. Any written agreement between the partners of the LLP or between the LLP and its partners, which determines the mutual rights and duties of the partners and their rights and duties in relation to that LLP. So similar to a memorandum cum articles put together, the first schedule shall be applicable for all matters not covered by the agreement. So in case you are having your own agreement, but the agreement does not cover something, if it is there in the first schedule, then the first schedule will be applicable. Similar to your table F, table A and all, similar to that. Okay. And so you'll compare, a lot of comparison with companies is possible. Everything you'll find similar. Small LLP. Just like you had small company, you can have small LLP. What is small LLP? Based on what? There it was based on net worth and turnover. Am I correct? Net worth and turnover. Similarly, here also, they don't use the word net worth. They use the word contribution. Means the contribution of the partners. If you want to, the contribution, they're using the word. Okay. Maybe when you studied accountancy in +2 or whatever, or in foundation, you called it capital. So the total of the capital account of the partners is a contribution. If that total is exceeding 25 lakh rupees or such higher amount, up to 5 crore. See, this prescribed amount is 25 lakhs. Just like small company, there they prescribed the amount, then the central government has kept increasing it. Now, here they've kept it at 25 lakh currently. Up to 5 crore, the central government can increase if they want. Prescribed. But they have not done. As of now, it is 25 lakh rupees. So if it exceeds 25 lakh, it is not a small LLP. The turnover of which, as per statement of accounts on solvency for the immediately preceding financial year, does not exceed 40 lakh rupees or such higher amount. Higher amount prescription. You can keep on prescribing higher amount, but not exceeding 50 crore. They have put a top ceiling there. Contribution cost, top ceiling 5 crore, here 50 crore. See, when you're studying small LLP, compare it with small company and study, you'll remember everything in one shot. This is one way of remembering. So, small LLP, so much small. So, you have a tabular column. So, have a notebook like this. See, when I see, for example, I'm studying astrology for the last, since pandemic, I'm studying astrology. So, I have a notebook where I make all the notes and I keep it. Whenever I have doubts, I refer to the notes. These notes I refer. I keep on referring to my notes. When I'm examining a horoscope, I will keep the notes and study so that, I remember this. So thereafter, I will know. See, similar to any knowledge base, yeah. If you want to remember the knowledge base, write it, then keep looking at it, summarize it, write it, prepare notes, compare and contrast. That is how you remember. There's no magic. No coaching institute can give you guarantee unless you are willing to come. Yeah, but a good teachers, like the teacher who taught me astrology, who teaching me, now he's doing advanced teaching for us. He is a brilliant teacher. So he's putting diagrams, he's giving us new ideas, logic, why the planets are having vision, how they will have vision. Using the solar system, he shows us this is how they have vision, why Saturn will have only 4 and 10, how, like that he will tell us. So the point of trying to make is such a teacher can help you to understand. But unless your effort is there to write it down, to prepare notes, read the notes, retention will not be there. In that moment, it will be like, yes, great, I understood. But 5 days later, retention's lower. 10 days, nearing the exam, panic. No. For the class, read the Board of Studies material, read the PowerPoint presentation, download, take notes. Prepare your own handwritten notes in your notebook, by subject notebook, or that notebook thereafter should become your reference point. Nearing the exam, revision should be only from the notebook. Problems should be worked out in the notebook by yourself. And those worked out problems you have to go through and see again once, two. So day before the exam, you will go through that notebook and you will be very confident. Yes. A little bit you refer to them. That's it. Go for the exam with all confidence. Right? Clear? Go to final. This is the attitude which you have to develop. Okay. Keep on having doubt, then what to do. You tell me. So, see, these two limits are there. 25 lakh for contribution. Up to 5 crore, government can prescribe. As of now, it is only 25. If they want, they can prescribe higher amount. That prescribed amount cannot exceed 5 crore. As of now, it is only 25. Similarly, for turnover, it is 40 lakhs. Now, they can keep on increasing it. Maybe they'll make it 1 crore, 5 crore, 10 crore. But they can't go beyond 50 crore. But as of now, 25 lakh rupees and 40 lakh rupees of turnover. Right, so small LLP. Maybe they get some exemptions. So the words are expressions which are not, we spoke no allied enactments or similar enactments. So LLP and Companies Act are similar enactments. So if a word is defined in the Companies Act, but not here, then it will have the same meaning. Similarly, if it is defined in the Indian Penal Partnership Act, the Indian Partnership Act, save as otherwise provided, shall not apply to LLP. So, forget it. So, these are some of the characteristics of LLP. It is there in the Board of Studies material. I am merely just taking you through it. So, as we already saw, LLP is the body corporate. LLP has perpetual succession. In that, it is similar to company. It is a body corporate. See, once you say body corporate, perpetual succession and separate. See, once you say body corporate, automatically separate legal entity, automatically perpetual succession. Once you say body corporate, automatically. You don't have to give that as a separate condition. The minute you say body corporate, then automatically separate legal entity, capable of being sued and suing and being sued in its own name, capable of owning assets and incurring liabilities in its own name. Say it. Perpetual succession. All the partners pay die, still the LLP will go on. Okay. LLP is a separate legal entity. Mutual agency, not there. Please be careful. In Indian Partnership Act, you will have mutual agency, which means every partner can bind the other partners. That's why I gave you that extreme example of this that A and B story, where he was cheated. Not possible in LLP. No partner is liable on account of the independent or unauthorized actions of the other partners. Whereas in a partnership, unless malafide intention is shown or collusive fraud is shown, any act done by a partner is binding on all the other partners. He may be out beyond his right, but as far as the third party is concerned, bound. Partnership is bound, other partners are bound. See, I am some Mr. A is the known partner of ABC partnership, normal partnership, not LLP. I know him. I have met him in so many business meetings. They have also introduced him. He's a partner like that. So, firstly, I believe he's a partner, right? So he comes to me and he says, I want to borrow money for the partnership. I said, please borrow. How much you want? 5 lakhs. Take it. Borrow it. And you put a seal there for on behalf of ABC partnership. Take it. So tomorrow that fellow runs away with the money. I can go to the other 3 partners. But if it is LLP, sorry, I can only sue the LLP. I can only sue the LLP, which is a body corporate. We understood this. Mutual agency does not apply. There should be an LLP agreement, which is very, very important. The LLP is an artificial legal person having if you want, common seal is not compulsory. But if the LLP wants, it can have common seal. Limited liability on who has the LLP does not have limited liability. LLP has to pay whatever it owes. But the partners enjoy limited liability to the extent of their contribution, whatever it means. Management of business is done by the partners jointly, LLP partners. But there will be 2 people called designated partners. Okay, just like you have full-time directors, here you have designated partners. So the designated partners will have more responsibility, and in case of violation of the act, they will be more liable than the others. Right, sir? Minimum and maximum, sir, I'm not able to look at a maximum. Minimum is 2. Maximum, I don't know. Business for profit only. So non-profit organization cannot become LLP. You can only go for Section 8 or else trust or society. So investigation of LLP is possible by the ministry. Compromise or arrangements are possible. Just like company, you can have merger of LLP also. It is fantastic, no? You cannot do LLPs too much. Sometimes family-owned businesses come to me for corporatization. See, I do for the last 6-7 years, I've been doing what is known as corporatization. See, many local, when you go out of the metro cities into Tier 2, you find still people are operating a sole proprietary partnership. And they want to become corporate. So we call it corporatization. You have Chapter 22 of the Companies Act, where you convert a partnership into so on and so forth. The LLP, no need. The LLP, straight away, there's a provision in the LLP Act for converting into a company. Whatever. Point I'm trying to make is, sometimes I even tell them, just be an LLP, what is there? Later on, if you want to merge also, you can merge. Restructuring is possible. Conversion. But many people want to go immediately for public issue and all that. Please, within the next 5 years, we want to go public. Take investment, PE investment also. Then I said, hey, don't go for LLP. Straight away become private company, operate for 2 years, convert into public company, enjoy. So you can convert a private company into an LLP. Possible. I have done that for 2 or 3 clients. That private company became just holding properties and all. So no more things. They said she can convert and we converted it. E-filing of documents as usual. Once we have the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, then e-filing is the bread and butter of the company secretary. That is very much there here also. Foreign LLPs are also recognized by the LLP Act, right? Where, see, this is all taken from your material only. I'm not giving something new. Foreign LLP is defined, and a foreign LLP can become a partner in an Indian LLP. Wow. See, this also we studied when we studied incorporation, where the fall in number below the statutory minimum. The statutory minimum is 2. Every LLP shall have at least 2 partners. If at any time the number of partners of LLP is reduced below 2, that is the first condition, and the LLP carries on business for more than 6 months, well, the number is so reduced. So, first condition, the number of partners is reduced below 2, so only 1 guy. And the business is carried on for 6 months with the number so reduced. Then there is 1 guy who is carrying on the business with the knowledge of that is carrying on with him alone. That remaining partner, the remaining only partner shall be liable personally for the obligations of the LLP incurred during that period. So LLP is having limited liability now. This one condition says in case there are 2, 1 guy is died, second guy carries on the business of the LLP with the reduced number for 6 months with knowledge. Thereafter also the business is continued. Then debts incurred after 6 months, the remaining partner will be liable. Okay. Got it? Debts incurred after 6 months. 6 months grace period is given for him to maybe get one more partner or dissolve the LLP. If he does not do that, then yes. Right. As I told you, every LLP shall have at least two designated partners. So LLP has, designated partner should be resident in India. Resident in India, definition is there. If an LLP, all the partners are bodies corporate, or in which one or more partners are individuals and bodies corporate, then at least two individuals who are partners of such LLP or nominees shall act as designated partners. So if LLP has only bodies corporate, then their nominees will become designated partners. An LLP has three partners, one individual, Mr. X, and two bodies corporate, and one nominee, then X and one nominee of any of the bodies corporate shall be designated partner. LLP by the name SMI Limited has three partners, namely SI Limited, MIS Limited, OI Limited, Private Limited. There is no individual. Then any of the two, they have to nominate. And again, it's minimum. All three can also nominate, and those nominees will become DP, designated partners. Just like you have DIN, which will be coming across when you come to final and you study on your own with your self-paced module, you will come across DIN. Similarly, here you have DPIN, designated partner identity number. What is resident in India? See, here there's a totally different definition. Person who has stayed in India for a period of not less than 120 days. Some more companies that they've got on to 120. Okay. And so 120 days during the financial year. So the word resident is defined, and specifically here, please notice it. You cannot go for general meaning or some other act and all. Or whatever you learned in FEMA for PRA, you can't bring it here. Resident in India defined in specifically for Section 7, only that has to be adopted. Right? There is a LLP by the name Indian Helicopters LLP. Wow. Having five partners, namely A, B, C, A non-resident, B non-resident, C resident, D resident, E resident. In this case, at least two should be named as designated part of it. One should be resident. Hence, if Mr. A and B are designated, no, because both are non-resident. So one of them with, or both A and B, but there should be at least one resident. That's all. Now you want to incorporate a company, same procedure for LLP also. You obtain the digital signature certificate, apply for DPIN, I told you now. For each partner, you should have a DPIN, go for name approval, same thing. Then incorporation, here they have one greatness of the MCA is the forms, they give such beautiful names. Like you have, for companies, you have Spice. For LLP, you have Philip. Philip is extra, boost. It's called Philip. So when suddenly, somebody says, Mr. Srikanth, I'll give you 1 crore. If you start a training company, they get a Philip. They get an encouragement. So that's why they use the word Philip. So that expansion will be there. I don't know. The ministry loves to do this type of things, abbreviations. Wow. But you see, merely giving abbreviations and fancy acronyms is good. But go beyond that. We have to actually perform on them. Philip. After LLP agreement, Philip. Then you file the LLP agreement. In the Philip, like in Spice, you could apply for 3 directors, not DIN. Similarly, you can apply for DPIN and DIN for 2 designated partners. And once you get the DPIN, you automatically, that becomes the DIN also. Straight away. Enjoy. Go. On registration, LLP shall be capable of suing and being sued, acquiring, owning. It becomes separate legal entity with all such privileges. Okay? Having a common seal if it decides to have one. Doing and suffering other acts and things as bodies corporate may lawfully do and suffer. See, I like that word suffer. Huh? See, we take on this human body both for enjoyment and for suffering. You cannot say this body is given to you for both enjoyment and suffering. Other not given to you. You designed the body by your karma and you are feeling all the enjoyment. If you are enjoying also, remember it is you. Suffering also, it is you. You know what we do? When you enjoy, when you're done, you got all India rank, you'll say, I did it like that. When some suffering is coming, now you'll say, God, why it is happening to me? But that time suddenly God will come. That's also your problem only. Partner as agent. Every partner of LLP is, for the purpose of the business of the LLP, the agent of the LLP, but not of other partners. Just like a director is the agent of the company, not the other shareholders and all. Similarly, here the partner is an agent of the LLP, not other partners. There is no mutual agency. Please, it's very important. No mutual agency. Okay. A partner cannot bind the other partners by his acts. Yeah, but then an LLP should be an LLP. I'm sorry. It's okay. See, because when you're using an acronym now, you are not sorry, enable editing. Here, when you're pronouncing it, it's a vowel, right? An LLP. Therefore, an. Whereas here, limited liability partnership, an LLP. Sorry, English grammar for you. An LLP is not bound by anything done by a partner in dealing with a person if the partner, in fact, has no authority to act for the LLP. Please note, the LLP agreement may specifically say, a partner cannot borrow beyond 3 lakhs without the approval of the other partners or without a resolution passed in the partners' meeting. In which case, if you are the lender, you have to be very careful. Please produce the LLP agreement. You want now 5 lakhs now. Have you got a resolution or do you have approval? If he has no authority and he does it, it is not binding. The person knows that he has no authority or does not know or believe him to be a partner of the LLP. So the other party knows you have no authority or does not know or believe him to be partner of the LLP. Honestly, see, I lent to him individually. Now he says it's borrowed on behalf of LLP. I never lent to the LLP. The third party says. So then the LLP is not bound by anything done by a partner. Right? See, partnerships are very complex. Partnerships are convenient, very complex. Many times client comes to me, says, I want to enter into a partnership with another gentleman. I meet that gentleman, not at all happy. As a psychologist, the minute I see his body language, his approach, I know. As a psychologist, I know, hey, this guy is not good. But then I can't tell my client outright, he is not. How can I know proof? But generally, I want my client, be careful with this gentleman. Anything you want to do it in writing. Don't trust him. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Then he'll go. Then up to Lumcourt, he'll remove and give to that fellow. And then that fellow will cheat him and go. Pay for this man, he'll be crying. What to do? LLP is liable. If a partner of a LLP is liable to any person as a result of a wrongful act or omission on his part in the course of the business of the LLP or with its authority. So, partner of LLP is liable to any person as a result of wrongful act. So, when the partner does something which is wrongful or omission, the LLP also will be liable. With other partners, no. Of course, just like a company can be wound up, a LLP can also be wound up compulsorily by the tribunal for the circumstances mentioned. One is if the LLP has, for a period of more than 6 months, the number of partners reduced below 2. If the LLP decides that the LLP wound up by the tribunal, if they say so, then 1. If the LLP has acted against the interest of the sovereignty and integrity of India, the security of the state or public order, if the LLP has made a default in filing with the registrar the statement of account and solvency or annual return for 5 consecutive financial years, okay, so then the LLP can be wound up. So broadly, we have covered from the formation of the LLP to its subsequent final resolution. Very interesting topic and relevant also from the legal point of view. So that's the future company secretary, future chartered accountant, because I teach classes in all the institutes, so I get confused. So future chartered accountant, you will have to definitely incorporate LLPs and all that. So I hope this covers that. And from the exam point of view also. Go beyond the exam. Go for knowledge also. Acquire knowledge. Then what happens now? No, just studied, vomited, passed the exam, chartered accountant, good. He's also CA, but knowledgeable chartered accountant, authoritative. He knows what he's talking about. He's an authority, a professional, respected, just like a doctor or if you go to a doctor and say, sir, I didn't study for the exam, he cannot say. He has to diagnose you. Just like that, you are a chartered accountant. You cannot say, sir, I didn't study and all. But you should use your common sense. Then maybe take some time off to do some research. Whatever. And the basics, you should be thorough, sir. You cannot say, I'm not aware. And you are not a BCom. When BCom, after 5 years, you can say that I like that. CA, no, till you die, this knowledge should be with you. And that further updation should be continuous. All that you are committing yourself before you become, see, you are not passing the exam. You are going to become a member of our institute. Always remember that. We are not just giving you a piece of paper which entitles you to a job. We are making you, admitting you as a member of our institute. And that carries with it a dignity and a fame. So for which you have to work hard and be there. Right? These are my humble this. In Tamil Nadu, when we complete the Pravachanam, we sing Mangalam. It's called Mangalam. So that Mangalam has to be sung now. This is the end of my lectures. With this, to the best of my knowledge and abilities, I have communicated the subject, and with the best of the constraint of time given, I have communicated my subject to you, and look forward to any queries that you might have now. And I wish you all the very best. I'm sure you will clear the exam with flying colors. So much messages from all over the country, from somehow they get from LinkedIn and all, they get my mobile WhatsApp number and they send messages. And I'm so happy to hear good news of your success. Look forward to hearing it. So any doubts are there? You can ask me now if you so desire. I see Mrs. Jailakshmi from Southern region. Nakul Pai. That's all. Okay. Ashokji. Sir, class over, sir. You want to unmute? Anyway, class over. Class ho gaya. Thank you. Bye, sir.